Welcome to Nicest Nation. I am your host, Jason. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps us out, and it helps us to reach more listeners. Hey guys, welcome back to Nicest Nation. It's your host, Jason, and once again, we have an incredible show. Today, we have...
with Goins Pest Control. Let's go.
Guys, I know if you've been on TikTok or anywhere on social media, I know you guys have seen them. So we have Ryan and Noel. So guys, just tell us a little bit about what you do, and let's get Goins.
Get Goins Pest Control. We're located in Los Angeles, and we do everything that the pest control industry offers. Save a couple different things, but
right, we don't go after bats. We do bats alone. Stuff like that.
But ants, spiders, your general pests, your wood destroying organisms, your termites, your fungus, we deal with all that to make sure that the customer is happy. We've been in business a little over 2 years. It's been such a blessing to work with my wife and spouse. It definitely has its challenges, but you can work through that, and you can actually have a really, really good business, in our opinion, working with your spouse if you're able to do so.
Yeah, part of our brand is showing up together. You know, I got licensed right away, so our clients got used to seeing us together frequently, all the time. So that's really fun. Is showing up as a husband and wife team, and people being like, "Oh wait. Oh, you do pest control too, girl?" Like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not just here supervising him and watching what he's doing. So yeah, we get crawl spaces together, attics together. We do it all together. It's fun.
It's very fun.
How long have you been doing pest control though? Like, how many years?
He's been doing it way longer.
Yeah, I've been doing it going on 22 years now.
Oh, wow.
So been definitely through all the ranks of an applicator to a field rep. In California, you have these different licenses that you have to acquire. 22 years of literally just learning the business from different mentors. It's been fun. Sometimes it's been like, hey, I don't want to do pest control because I want to pursue something else. But pest control has been in my DNA for quite some time.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell, I think. You guys
it's like me. I'm like almost 3 years in, and I feel like I've been in it 20 years. I learned very fast.
So I would talk about doing pest control on the West Coast in California, because California, I don't know, I'm sure a lot of people know they're a lot stricter than most states. So talk about what are some of the challenges you think you have there with being in California and being pest control operators, and what are your challenges?
Well, I'll start. I'll just say from an environmental standpoint, there's just the public perception is one thing and what we do is another thing. I think that's the biggest challenge, because public perception really influenced a lot of the laws that were passed. Mm-hmm. And so instead of our legislative folks, and not all of them, but they weren't necessarily involving the pest control industry in the decision-making process. And so now you're going by what you think is happening versus what is actually happening. And so I think pest control, the industry just hasn't had a seat at the table together, where it's like, hey, if you want to take this away, what's the alternative? You know, let's have some solutions already available. So that way we're not in the field trying to figure out, well, now that we don't have this, what can we do now? So I think from an environmentalist standpoint too, I mean, we love the environment. Like, I don't know if you've seen our social media, we're like, hey, spider, hey, termite, hey, like, I don't want to kill you if I don't have to. But we're always looking for alternative solutions where we don't have to use chemical. I mean, IPM, integrated pest management, and then soon to be SPM, sustainable pest management. That's the new rollout. Yeah. So I think it's just the challenges are the public perception, which is why we make our social media so transparent to show what we do. It's not scary. It's not negligent. Right. It's not what you think. It's not just I'm spraying and I'm out.
And also, like, I'm for regulation, right? Mm-hmm. I believe that regulation is good. It really helps keep, the technicians safe, and it keeps the customers safe. But I believe California sometimes can have over-regulation on things that really don't need to necessarily be as intense. The licensing has been in place for quite some time, but if you don't go through being qualified from someone that has a higher license, or if you don't know someone, it can be difficult to get to that next level to own your own business, right? Like being an entrepreneur, sometimes people start as an applicator and they want to go and really pursue a business in the pest control industry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in California, it's a little bit difficult because you have to know people. You also have to have worked for said company. And if they kind of want to,
keep you where you're
at. So you have these factors that I wish California could be just a little, just review the regulations of licensing and help people get their dreams started. Yeah,
definitely. Another thing, like California, we're here in Tennessee, and just it's a completely different climate, and I'm not used to it. So, are there different challenges like that you face? Different than the rest of the country? I mean, what do you guys think?
Let me first of all say this is only 10 I see.
Wait, I do have a baby in my tent.
I know.
I know. Oh, Tennessee. I get it.
Yeah.
You must be from Tennessee.
I need to hear things more than once. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah. I have a mug that says you must be from Tennessee because you're the only Tennessee.
Yeah.
You go first, and then I'll wait.
So weather conditions, right? So crazy thing about it is I don't remember if you remember last year we had a storm surge that started. I believe it started. Was that Mexico? Or started way south, and it came all the way through California. What we noticed since that is a lot more mosquito calls, and so because of our climate. Southern California does pretty much have a nice weather pattern. You can get 70s throughout most of the year, but that particular weather surge offered a new invasive species of mosquitoes to come through California. So now we had an influx of mosquito calls, even permeating throughout the winter time when typically it tends to slow down. We have a mosquito job that we have to do Thursday, and it's December. So, our climate can bring on different invasive species.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's just so up and down. It fluctuates so much. You can wake up in the morning and it says 46 degrees, and you're like, okay, I know what I'm wearing today. And then it's 75 at some point in the afternoon, and you're hot, and then it goes right back down to the low 40s, maybe even the low 30s, depending on where you're at. In which county you're in. So I just think it's just all over the place. So when people are like, oh, I can probably let up on mosquito control in the winter months. I'm like, what winter months? Right. I mean, it could be winter, but we may have an 80-degree. We actually did have an 80-degree day in December. So it's like, no, don't let up on nothing. Don't let up on rodent control. We're still getting termite calls. Termites are drywood termite. We got a drywood termite call, active infestation, frass on the outside of a deck in December. Right. So it's swarming season. I don't know what swarming season is anymore. It's when they feel like coming out.
I know, right?
That's what I call deck the halls.
Oh, no.
We should mention it's Ryan's birthday today. We're shooting this in December, so that's why we're doing stuff. So happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
You.
Thank you guys so much.
Yay,
I appreciate that.
Happy birthday.
So nice. People in January, they hopefully will have their new baby by the time this hits, maybe.
I know.
Oh. Wow.
Oh my God.
A baby girl at that, our first.
I know.
That's awesome.
Just, such a blessing.
Yeah,
I got girl dad vibes going constantly.
So you'll have to learn all these horrible dad jokes that Jason tells me all the time.
Yeah. I'm a wealth of dad jokes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We welcome them.
Yes. He said, hey, this morning, he goes, hey, when we talk to the Goins, I'm gonna make a bunch of different like bad puns about. And I was like, well, they do it all the time, so they're used to it. Let's get going.
Right. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, we try to keep it going.
I know.
Yeah.
So talk about how you got into. So we at Nasus, we found you guys and thankfully you guys have done a great job with some social media posts for us, and we've really loved everything you've done. But talk about how does that social media, how did you, number one, start to get into it? I think I could probably guess because you're in Hollywood. And number two, how do you think that puts an eye on pest control and kind of helps you and helps the business and the industry as a whole, I think?
Okay, well, I mean, I social media. I don't even remember the content I made before I married him. I feel like it's all a blur before I met him. But when we got engaged, he just started showing up on my social media because I'm always been very private with my relationships and stuff like that. So once we got engaged, and then he's very silly and goofy naturally, and so am I. And we just started making content together, just as a married couple. And we started our social media channel, The Goins, because we're so outgoing. And we met on a date. We met on a dating app, and even the dating app reached out to us and was like, "Man, can we interview you?" and all this other kind of stuff. So it's like from day one, even being on the Steve Harvey show when we got engaged before we got married, we just organically fell into making social media. So by the time when we got married, and even before we had a pest control company, I made a video for like his dad's company. I just had this idea, like the bugs come out at night, and I just made this whole little video being ridiculous for his dad's company. And then when we got ours, I'm like, oh man, we get to make social media for our company now. We didn't know that other companies kind of tend to shy away from it. Like we didn't really know that it wasn't a thing. So we just were doing it. And even we just did it. And it just took off in a way that I think people at first were like, you guys do pest control? Is this a skit? And we're like, no, it's not a skit. We really do. And it has helped us. When I tell you, all of our referrals are either word of mouth or social media.
Yeah.
To the point where people are YouTubing and saying, hey, I saw you guys doing board care on YouTube.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, I mean, social media has been, we don't pay for any marketing, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with SEO marketing or anything like that. It's just, we haven't had to. It's totally helped us. It's been fun. It's just shed a lot of light on what we do, why we do what we do. And it's grown our business like in a very, untraditional way.
Yeah. And the thing about it is her experience that she's had being in the entertainment industry as a singer-songwriter and an actress, it definitely pours into social media content because social media, even though you're pretty much doing it on your phone and you're like creating concepts, it still takes a lot of the same things that the entertainment industry requires, like
when you're making a film,
directing, cinematography, like how you're shot, thinking through the story, even though it's more of a commercial segment or a quicker reel, the edits, which is the final part. These are all the things that Noelle had in her that she worked out. So when we were able to begin to make content for our Love brand, and we got good at it, and obviously we're growing together, getting to know each other like anyone would when they get married. We were able to kind of synergize. I was able to finish her sentences and things like that. So that makes for the content to be more authentic and to come off as like, wow, this is really genuine. And that's the way that we have always wanted to push for our content, no matter what we're doing.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're doing pest control, you're seeing what has always been the way we produce original content, whether we're singing a jingle, whether we are telling the story, whether
you're dancing,
fight back, however it goes. That's how it's played into producing, for our business. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Only editing is work, but it's still fun. And then when we show up, people are like, you're exactly like your social media. Like they already know who we are when we show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you guys seem to be like a little bit of rock stars when you go play, so that's a good thing, I suppose.
That part is fun. I feel like when we would go to Pest World, people are like, you're the Goins. You're on my LinkedIn. And it's like, wow. Like, it's really cool.
But let me tell you, you guys at Pest World did throw a Rockstar Nicest party.
You did.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, the B&G dance, like all of the things that came out of that amazing party.
Yes.
You guys have established something that has to happen every single Pest World. The nicest party is going down.
I've raised the bar a little bit, so now I'm under a lot of pressure to top myself for the next years. We'll see how it goes. I think they caught me laying in the floor trying to measure out with my body how far out my booth needed to go next year.
Listen, I love it. And all the nicest baby shower gifts. Listen, the little Grace is coming in. I wanted bug stuff and all of it was so detailed and thought out. I'm so excited that she has some bug like blankets and just, it was so thoughtful. And all the little rattles, all the little bug rattles, they're so cute.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think the great thing about social media is the way that now that how this is basically how people consume, right? So they're constantly scrolling or they're in and I think when I had a podcast with Jason before, we had talked about how pest control is we're trying to figure out how to turn it on its head a little bit, because I think in the past everything's always been such a dissertation of what your product does rather than trying to make it, you know, how it's beneficial for you in a fun way. And I think that's what you guys are doing and what we're trying to do. So hopefully we're achieving that goal, but we've really had a great relationship with you all, and we're excited. And you're doing some great things in the charity realm. So talk about your charity a little bit and what you do there.
Oh, man, we love our foundation so much. The Keep It Goins Foundation was birthed after doing a really severe bed bug job for a really tough client that we had early on that we inherited from Ryan's aunt. Very stern lady that owned a multi-unit building, and she had a off and on bed bug tenant for many years. And she just was like, you know, it's never been solved. It's not going to be solved. And we were just like, whoa, let us inspect. And when we went in there, you know, that empathy and compassion, I'd never seen a bed bug. Ryan had seen bed bugs. I'd never seen a bed bug in person. And she was completely infested. I think she lived there. She lived in that apartment since the 70s. Mm-hmm. So she was in her 80s. So this is something that had been going on for over 10 years off and on, just a long time. Yeah. And what she needed was just more than just a treatment. Yeah. I mean, she had a lot of stuff. She just needed help preparing. She was also in denial about it and didn't really, bed bugs were crawling on her actively in the daytime as we're talking to her. And she's like, yeah, I'm not there. I don't think they're that bad. So it was a lot of factors that went into it, not just, we just need to treat and that's it. So Ryan and I, we love helping people. We care about people. And that just gave us an opportunity to really come up with a plan that she would be down with, but it would require her to give more than just paying us for bed bug treatment. It required her to invest more and to look at this tenant as somebody, like, look at this person as your family member. Like, this is not the way they should be living. We're beyond who brought it in, when and what. It's spread to 3 other units. And just the plan we came up with and the way we converted her to care, that woman's been bed bug free since 2022. Yeah.
Nice. What I'm learning more and more of is being present is something that I wasn't always good at. So, but as I'm becoming more and more self-aware and being present in the moment, I'm finding that that things and opportunities, ideas actually present themselves. It's almost like you have that like aha moment, like, whoa, this has been here the whole time, right? The Keep It Goins Foundation charity has literally been there the whole time. It's been available, right? But wanting to help this lady presented it in such a way where we're like, yo, like this is an opportunity to pay it forward. And us, loving our last name that we got blessed with, we're like, yo, we got to keep it going. And that's how it was birthed.
Yeah, from that job,
from that phrase, pay it forward. We just, hey, keep it going. It's like, there's always going to be someone that may be in a season of being down, being a hardship that has fallen into our industry's lane, right? And we're just sticking with our industry. We're like, okay, this is something that we can do to impact the world, because we believe that giving back is the greatest thing that you can do.
Yeah.
While you have your time here on earth. And so that's really our essence. And we thank you guys for always partnering with us on every single job that we've had. If you're not able to physically be there, you guys have done Zooms with us, or you sent, Javier to be present. And so we appreciate you guys. You guys have been supporting it since day one.
Yeah, I was going to say too that the owner of that job, I mean, she ripped the carpet up. She had a cleaning service come in to scrub the walls. She repainted it. She ordered new furniture for this woman. I mean, she went above and beyond a landlord, slumlord, a lot of them are called that, to help this woman, because that was what needed to happen at that point where many people are resistant to that when they have renters. And so again, after that, we were like, oh man, we can do this with anybody. We converted Mrs. Scrooge, the Grinch that stole Christmas. We can and change people's lives. And I mean, to this day, we still treat that building every month. That owner, we are very good friends with her. She kind of adopted us as her kids because she's in her 80s. And the tenants still to this day, their family, the family can come over. They're like, man, you guys, it's just thank you. They still say thank you. Yeah, and that just had birthed, we're going to help anybody. I mean, if you own your home, it's a lot easier, right? But we are still working to how can we help those who are renting that are scared to tell their landlord, or it's a big problem and it's infested other units. Like, how can we still get involved, but the owner still has to take some type of ownership and accountability. It can't just be all on one person when it's spread to multiple units. There has to be a way where we can help and partner with anyone that needs help, no matter what. So we're working on some things in 2025 to get a lot more hands on deck to make these things happen.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with that, because whenever I started this podcast, I was like, there's got to be stories out there of people, that are selfless, going out and helping people that, may not have enough money to get rid of these, infestations. And that's awesome that you guys are doing this. And it I don't have words. It just blows me away, the selfishness, the selflessness. Yeah.
So many companies are pro bono in doing this. Yeah. It's like, we're obviously not the first one to do it. There are companies that do things often or seasonally. They might do a big Christmas or Thanksgiving give back to treat a facility for free or something like that. Another thing about the Keep It Goins Foundation is we have to bring this content to life. We have to tell the story. And the people who allow us to help them agree to have it filmed and to be vulnerable and to share a testimony, because they understand that they're a vessel now to help other people know that there is help out there. You shouldn't be embarrassed by this infestation. Of course, some infestations are embarrassing. Some of them are our fault. Some we can't control. But again, the more awareness we have, it humanizes our industry. It helps those in need, and the community is better for it. So we just choose that, hey, we're going to capture this content to show the journey of helping someone. And we just thank everyone who allows us to help them, because it's not easy to be vulnerable like that.
Yeah. And to your point, Jason, that is selfless, right? People have said, you don't have to film it. That's not giving the essence of what you're supposed to be doing. Well, actually, that's not true. The fact that you do film it and put it out there, that's actually selfless, because that means you can help like you said, I'm looking for someone. There's gotta be someone. Well, guess what? Because it was a selfless act to put it out there with dignity, then now somebody else can get help, or the next family can get help, or can be talked about, or like you said, the industry can have a positive light. So it actually is a selfless act to put this content out there.
And then companies come together. Like, it's not Get Goins doing all the work. It's like, we're a nonprofit, so anybody can come together, and we enjoy bringing other companies into it. They get excited that they get to help. They're like, man, I'll be there. What do you need? That's the beauty, because we're not competition. We're collaborating to help somebody. It's just, it don't get better than that.
Yeah. And also, if you do it in secret, I mean, how are you going to get the word out to let people know, hey, we're here. If you need help, just ask,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think planting the seed's important too, because there are many people, even if it's a homeowner like me, if you're, because when you own a home, pest control might be the last thing that's on your brain, right? Because it's the unseen that can get you. And so I think planting the seed is important, because it will shine a light on the things that can happen if you don't take care of the things that you have. And also, if you can't take care of the things, there's people out there to kind of push you forward and to help you. But I think it is important for education purposes. Just, before I was in pest control, I was like, I just pay somebody to come do it and I don't worry about it. But, now I'm like, oh my God, do I have termites? What have I got? So, so I think it's really, really important for not just to help people, but also to educate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How has it been for you, Julie? I'm just curious, transitioning into the industry.
It's I talked about this a little bit. It's like I came in and now Lee told me, he said he thought I'd been here for 10 years because I just sort of immersed myself straight in. But I had a lot of the things that I was working on before I got here, and I was in the fine jewelry industry. A lot of those skills translated over into pest control, and I think coming out from outside of the industry helped more than it hurt, because I was able to kind of put a fresh eye on the industry as a whole, and to kind of think outside of the box of what pest control has been for so long. And I think it's just a refresh that NICES needed, and not that I'm personally responsible for all of it, but I just think it was something that needed to be done, and just to kind of open people's eyes to how fun this industry can be, how close knit it is, what a community it is, and just to put that out there, and also just to try to take care of people and take care of the earth is so important, right? So that's the other thing I liked about working for NICES, which is our responsible care initiative and our commitment to being sustainable, which is fantastic to me.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. The writing's on the wall. I mean, it's like, it's definitely, here we are doing a podcast with pest control, right? That hasn't been done in recent years. And it's important because people get an opportunity to buy into us, and then they can buy into what we're about and really be like, yo, I never thought that was like that. But now I'm getting a better idea. So I love it. This is the nicest, y'all.
So that's the whole idea. So I've only been in the pest control industry for about 8 months now. So I'm new.
Yeah.
And it just, amazes me, like whenever I was coming in learning the products and what they do and how they work. It's fascinating. But also you talk about the podcast. So this was kind of like my baby whenever I came in here. When I interviewed, I was like, have you guys ever thought about doing a podcast? And Lee was like, yes, let's do it. And man, it's amazing just how much you can learn. And the whole premise behind it was, it's about the whole industry. It's not just about NICES. We're NICES Nation. We're everyone in the industry, and it helps, shine light on you guys or anyone else, that wants to come on and talk about their business, and help get their name out. It's to help you, it's not just about us,
Yeah.
Hey, amen. We
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah. There's definitely an audience for every type of podcast.
Yeah.
Right. And so this one definitely will have the nicest listeners. So.
Yes. And shout out to Lee for saying, just knowing, he's just so brilliant. He's like, yes, I know. Let's do it. I love how he knows. He just knows.
Yeah. Not being stuck with what was the past, but being able to cross over into where the future is headed.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, Julie, like everyone is on their phone. Everyone is swiping. If we're not there, then we're behind. You know? So, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, video is king. I'm just kidding.
It's amazing how many people, YouTube is their form of entertainment now, Instead of watching network TV, they sit down and watch YouTube, or they watch like there's this channel called Twitch. I don't know if you have heard of Twitch. Well, they stream, they're playing video games and stuff, but also they just stream their day-to-day life. There's a channel called IRL, and you can just watch people on their phone just recording what they do daily. And it's amazing that people, will tune in and just watch them live their daily life. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big deal when it comes to gatekeeping. Back in the day, the entertainment was networks, and it was a certain, you can only have an agent here, or you can only be able to enter here. But now social media and all these other digital platforms have made the level playing field to where you should be authentic and not try to, be something else that you're not. But if you're able to be authentic with content that you're providing, if you want to provide content, then you'll end up building an audience. And I think that it's just a beautiful thing. I'm all for content creation 24/7 because, it's a good thing. That's like, there's always negativity in the world, right? It's like, well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't think you can run a business today without it. I really don't. I think it's if you're not doing it, like you said, you're behind. And whether it's in some small form or in big form, like you guys are doing, or it's all good because being open and honest and transparent to people makes you more trustworthy, and that's the key, which is letting people know who you are as human beings and what you're about. I
had a colleague to that point tell me the other day. She said they own a pest control company, and they said, we literally have watched a lot of your, if not all of your nicest content, and have begun to onboard products into our company because we just didn't know. Now, all of these products are available with different vendors, right? Mm-hmm. And you can have said vendors say, hey, well, this product is this. Or Nice as itself can say, hey, well, this is what this product does. But like to your point, to be able to have fun with it and actually in an educational, lighthearted way, create this content. You have other PCOs that are not only getting, said products from Nice's, whatever they want, but actually using it and saying, yo, this really works. Like, I don't know how many times I've heard Niban is like, Niban is amazing. Like, Niban, give me some Niban. And then we're at Academy. And a gentleman came up to us and he was like, man, I got that Bacchus. He was like, smells good. I sprayed everywhere that needs to smell good. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, I saw your video on Bacchus where you sprayed it in the trash can. And I was like, wow, I'd have never known that. This is way in Orlando, Florida, California, So it's because of social media, because of the reach, then you're able to have a more effective business and a more effective resale.
Yeah, and we're a manufacturer, so I don't want to say that we don't have a stake in the game. We do, but I think that having social media and people like, Goins Pest Control or any pest control company that believes in a product and that can actually give us feedback on whether it works or not is like huge, right? So if something doesn't work, they gonna tell us. You know what I mean? So I mean that's really important too. It's market research, whether you like it or not, or think of it that way. It really is. And so and we're all about feedback, and we're all about helping customers and making sure that products work and that they're great and that they do what the job that they're supposed to do. So we love it.
Yeah, you guys are very helpful. I mean, there's a lot of not that every manufacturer isn't helpful. It's just, it's different. And we recognize that right away. Before we knew anyone at Nice's, Jim Sparks was the person that we were given the number to when we were doing a deck, a board carrying a deck. And we just, we needed some help. And he's way in Arizona, and he got on the phone with us and told us what to do and how to do it. And it was about to rain. And we were working with a general contractor and her team, and how to time it just right to do it. And then when they could go back and paint it. So, I mean, to have that help so readily available. And Jim was so nice. I mean, when we finally met him in person at Pest World in Hawaii, it was like, man, last year, you really helped us out. It just, you guys just really go out of your way to help each and every nicest person. So it's just, it helps our business. It helps our confidence, because we need those tools. There's no set training bar in California. Yeah. You're learning from who taught you. So if who taught you was wrong or not 100% accurate, or they're just going to teach you what they know based on the products they know. Yeah. So you really need, manufacturers and reps from the company, not just the distributor, but the manufacturer side to be there to help when you need help.
Yeah.
And to just walk you through it just makes business much better.
He really sparked our interest. And I'm going to tell you this.
We call him Sparky.
Oh, Lord.
When I went back to, because that was our client, the deck she was talking about.
Yeah.
A year later, with it super heavily termite infested Southern California, not one termite, not one dry rot on that wood deck. Am I lying? No, not one. We board carried that out of 1 to 5.
We were Van Gogh. We painted
Goins.
There were trees and plants we didn't want to ruin. So we literally were like painting it and it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Not one, but so it works. Board care. It's amazing.
Is that the product you think you use the most?
Board care.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would say, we say the most, that we purchase the most of, because we do a lot of wood destroying jobs, right? So you need a lot of quantity.
Man, we kind of use it all. I mean, a lot of night band, a lot of web out.
Back is app.
Definitely back is app.
Yes,
Therafab, for the drains, because we got all every.
Nightboard-D,
and Nightboard-D, you have every problem that you guys make. I mean, really. Everything that you make, we need it out here. There's a pest for that. Much.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the new products.
Oh, yeah, we got some coming. Mm-hmm. We're not going to talk real heavy about them right here, but we do have a back as app in a bag on valve that's coming, so we'll be sending that your way for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be back as app is my baby, my passion. I love that stuff. Yeah. It's got a lot of legs. I like it.
Yes,
I like it too. I have 3 kids, so I love some back as app.
I have 2 dogs, so there you go.
I have a husband, so
there you go. I do too.
We'll be changing diapers soon, so
I know, right?
Lord, it's spraying in diaper pail.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't want to just make this about back as app. I have kids that play soccer. You put it in their cleats and it kills all that bacteria. Because I don't know if you've been around, if you've played soccer or been around sports, that's the stinkiest thing is like cleats. Cleats are so bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
It actually works on our boots. I mean, our work boots.
Yeah.
We're stepping on all kind of stuff. So
anything that's had moisture.
Yeah.
And it's kind of moldy, stinky, and it'll knock that stuff out pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I pour, what I do with it? I'm going to tell on myself. So I pour a little bit of it in my bathroom. The little brushes that you use to clean the toilet, like the grossest thing ever. I keep a little reservoir of it down in where the brush is, and it
makes
keeps
sense.
It from and it eats
that
all
makes
that
sense.
crap up and
literal.
Yeah, it keeps it clean. And it doesn't stink.
Yeah,
you just keep it right, just a little bit like a.
That's a good tip.
Right in the bottom of their toilet bowl cleaner, holder thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys should start selling back as app cologne or perfume. Like, have you tried this back as app today?
You're in line with somebody that's got body odor. You just no, you can't put it on.
You can't put it on people's skin. No,
you can't.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't do that.
That's not okay. Because
get your back as app toothpaste.
No.
Now we're going too far.
No. We're being so much trouble.
Oh yeah.
Spray it when animals and people are not around, and then let it dry people.
Yes.
Get your DSV mouthwash.
Oh my gosh.
No. Gosh.
I'm going to have to cut this out. Regulatory is going to have our heads.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to roll.
DSV is great, though. That's another one.
Yeah.
DSV is awesome.
Yeah, it is great.
It's
flu season is horrible here right now. I think it's been in our whole building when you have a small staff like we have. And for as much product as we put out, to have as small a staff as we do is amazing, but I think it just went through each department.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Except for Jason, because he's got kids, so he's immune to everything.
I'm immune.
Right.
I've had all the diseases coming this year, so I'm good now.
No, I'm popping all the vitamins.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So much to look forward to for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm just thinking back to because, gosh, it's when you first become a parent, it's a lot all at once. You don't realize how much it is until it happens. So I'll be praying for you guys because a lot of sleepless nights.
You.
A lot of sleepless nights.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I told him we got to start watching these we have a doula. We have some birthing videos to watch. I'm get away. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah.
I've seen like a couple, but I'm like, I'm looking forward to watching it with him so he can really see everything that's about to happen.
Yeah.
I'll pass. That's a hard no for me.
We'll tell you about it.
No.
I definitely am excited about holding baby Grace.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That part would be cool.
That first,
Other part I can handle.
Yeah, I was kind of, sleepless nights, yes, you don't get much sleep, but you miss it so much when they get older of, you waking up in the middle of the night, the baby's crying, you go in, you like hold them and you rock them back to sleep. I miss that, yes, I was only getting maybe 3 hours sleep at night, but it's worth it. Completely worth it,
Well,
Yeah.
appreciate that advice.
Yeah.
So would they?
A number of people have said that too.
Yeah.
So if you went in their rooms at night and you just picked them up and tried to like coddle them and, would they punch you in the face?
Right now?
Yeah. Because they're like, they're tweens.
Man, my son, he's 11. He's still, Daddy, will you lay with me and watch TV till I go to sleep? Yeah.
Bless him.
So, I mean, that's, as they get older, that's just stuff you're going to miss, That's why I'm like, my wife's like, just, don't go in there. I was like, he's only little once, pretty soon he's not going to want me around,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, do you find that pest control is like super family oriented? Like, it's like somebody's grandpa had the pest control business, and then the son had the business, and now the grandson has the business. And it's like, it's very family community oriented, I feel like, because it's, I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just because it's sort of like if you are you're in Italy and you're making jewelry, like we've often found, like the grandfather started making the jewelry and then they pass it and pass it and pass it. I mean, do you run into a lot of that families and stuff like that are?
Yeah, 1,000%. Like coming from a family of pest control owners, right?
There you go.
From my dad, my uncles, they still have pest control companies. Even how Get Goins Pest Control started was from my aunt before she passed away, owning the pest control company, giving it to my cousin, and my cousin wanting not to pursue it and giving it to us.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's how we started with 11 of those customers. Begin the journey of building and pursuing our license and things of that nature. So it's definitely family oriented, to the point that I did not want to do it. Trust me when I say that. Like, I did not want to do pest control. I was tired of it, but I didn't see what I didn't see until I saw it, which is the opportunity to solve a problem. I became fascinated with solving people's issues. And like that really kind of spins my wheels, and, being able to have a knack with her for creating content, and that's fun. So we do that anyway. And so to blend those two has been like this new era of, pest control-esque, if I may, and just kind of building and now having a baby and building and, leaving something for her, as well as whatever she wants to pursue when she gets older, so that it's like, it's a whole different vibe. And like I said, ultimately being able to do it with Noelle, who came from entertainment into this industry, like, all of the people that knew her, like, what? Like, what is she doing? Like,
what? Blink twice if you need help.
Right. So it definitely is a family-oriented situation. And you're going to find the best people, in my opinion, in pest control for the most part.
Yeah, I was going to say that, pest control is just I've never seen it presented in a way like in schools, like this is something that you could do. I never grew up knowing anyone that had a family member doing pest control. Like that was it just was never a thought. Like I've never, out of all the years of living in LA and all the men that have ever tried to holler at me, none of them did pest control until this one. Okay. It's not like, hey, I work at Terminix, I work at Orchid. And this was never, this is what I do. It's just not, I think that's another reason why it's so family oriented, because if you had a family member that did it or owned a company, you most likely were to follow or experience pest control at some point through somebody that you knew, even if they were a friend of the family. I mean, it was usually that way, where some careers, they're just out there. You don't have to know anybody. You could be the first to have a doctor in your family. There's plenty of doctors. We just know certain careers. We just know they're just always there and always present. And in entertainment, there's cop shows. There's what?
Tell them how our first date with the pest control.
I mean, I already knew you worked for your dad at the time, but he parked his car. So he drove his dad's pest control truck on our first date and parked way around the corner. But I also parked right in front of his truck. So it's like when he didn't want me to see it. I don't know why. It didn't matter to me. But when he was like, I'll walk you to your car. Yeah. And I'm like, where'd you park? He's like, right there. And I'm like, oh, that's your pest control truck? I was nosy. I was like, I want to look in there. And we ended up sitting in there and talking for like a whole other hour in the truck, because I just had never been in one. I don't know why. I wanted to see the bugs in there. Like I just wanted.
Hopefully he's not carrying bugs around in the car with him.
No,
I mean, I just don't know. You just don't know what's in. When you don't know, you don't know. I'm like, what is in a pest control truck? Like,
the steakhouse. Like? The steakhouse is like, are you here to eat or are you here to work? Because I mean, you just figure out what's gonna happen. That's so funny. That's so funny to me.
And then too, like, your family, you guys had so many different pest control companies versus like some of our friends who, you know, they was set up generationally to pass on. Where his family dynamic, everyone kind of had their own and was doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. So I also think that also wasn't why he was so excited about it, because it wasn't like he was being groomed to take over. For some families, that is what they're doing. They're like, I am grooming you. I want you to get the highest license you can get so you can take over one day. Yeah. And he just didn't come from that family dynamic. It was more competitive, more, I'm doing my own thing. So I could understand where he was like, well, it's not being set up for me to take over really. So I want to do something else. Right. And so now that we have a chance to build our legacy, we're like, okay, baby Grace, she can do whatever she wants to do. But what she will see is how fun it is. And she's going to see more than one dimension of it. Right. So maybe she will want to be in the field. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll just want to do the marketing and be cool like Julie. I want to do what she does. I'm just, I think we're going to show her every facet of it and take her on these conference trips and let her see, but she won't be afraid of the bugs that we were afraid of growing up. She's going to know what they are early on, and she won't be ignorant of a lot of things that we just didn't learn because my mom was not interested in that. Yeah. But it'll be fun to watch what she gravitates towards. And, again, we're going to set it up for her to take over. We have more kids. Hey, you guys are all going to know what mommy and daddy do. Hopefully you'll think it's cool. Yeah. If you don't, that's okay. We're going to think whatever you think is cool so we can support you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And people, like, you always need pest control. I mean, there's never not going to be a market for it, right? So that's the great thing about this industry. And I think if there's somebody out there who has, like I said, they're trying to figure out where they want to go in life, and they're sort of like, I don't want to necessarily work in a restaurant, or I don't want to, and just, I think this is a great industry to be in, and you don't need a college education to do it. That's what's the great thing about it is you can make a really good life for yourself in this industry. And I know a lot of people now who do that, and they're awesome, and they're successful, and they pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and no matter where they've been in life, and make a go of it. So that's,
I really believe that the up and coming generation just has to see it in a different light.
Yeah.
Right. How many times have younger younger kids or young adults said, or, hey, I want to grow up to be a pilot, president, a doctor, right? Well, that's what we believe our calling, if you will, is to make pest control sexy. Like straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
And it is being done. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I want to get into that industry. Yes, a service industry, but there's technically being a doctor is a service, right?
Yeah.
Being a lawyer is a service. This is how you look at it.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good opportunity to be out on the road and to not to be tied down into an office, you know, and
Yes.
to meet people. I mean, it's a great like networking and meeting people kind of industry. And yeah, I mean, I just don't think people really sit down and think about all the opportunities that this kind of job can bring you and can help you with, right? So,
Right.
I mean, and it helps with social gathering and, you know, getting out and being out in the world and making a difference. So that was what really kind
Every
of
day's an
drew me.
adventure. Every day's an adventure. You're not going to be bored. Even that route is just, even if it's the same route, it's always something new happening.
Right.
If you look at it, it's also your perception, like how you look at it. If you walk around a property first before you get started, you'll probably find something interesting, something that wasn't there the last time you were there.
Yeah.
I know we need to edit the video where we went from Malibu. We were servicing someone in Malibu. The views were just amazing.
Yeah.
We're looking at the coast and the water. And the same day, we ended up in the snow in the Big Bear doing a termite inspection.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Totally dressed,
Right.
like not ready for snow, knee deep in it. And it
Right.
was so ridiculous. And I'm like, I can't believe that we went from one weather condition to another. But
Right.
it was an adventure. It was, at the time, it was like, why did we schedule a termite inspection
Right.
right now?
Yeah.
What? But anyway.
See some frozen termites that weren't there.
Oh,
Like,
my
what
goodness.
are you guys doing here? Like, it was totally, I didn't have any, the boots didn't even help out that we had on.
Oh my gosh, we were not prepared, but that was fun. I mean, it was, these are the things that can happen at any given time.
Like last week, I saw 2 potato bugs on 2 different days. Like, I've never seen that for a year. But last week in Malibu and last week in Inglewood, I saw 2 separate potato bugs. And I got them on camera. One was dying because he crossed over the poison I just sprayed. But the other one I didn't touch. He was alive and he was trying to get away. So I pulled out my phone, being the content creator that I am, and I put it right there. And he literally came towards my phone and came up to the camera as if to say hi.
Yeah.
And I caught it on camera. And people were like, yo, that's so cool, right? Like you could see his eyes and everything.
Yeah, they're big. They're cute.
We get to see stuff like that, you know? And so what an industry. What an opportunity to explore, educate.
You know, and we I think on the episode that we did a while back, he and I, we talked about termites specifically, like how in the world they do have their job, right? They do good things, but they are, as humans evolved and, you know, industry and communities evolved and people start building and stuff, you know, they can be a detriment if you don't know they're there, and can really do some quite extensive damage in a short amount of time. And it's super expensive to take care of. And, you know, I just can't stress how important it, like to me, termites are like the one thing, if you are living in moisture laden areas, and that you should be aware of to me.
Oh yeah. If we could get a major PSA out, it would be what you just said.
Yeah.
Because in California, obviously we have subs and we have Formosan and we have drywood. It's amazing how many people own property and just still that light bulb of how much damage termites are doing to their home has not gone off, to the point where they will put off treating their home or fumigating their home or whatever treatment they need because they have a tile roof, or because, well, I have tenants and I have to relocate them for 2 nights. I mean, do you want them to fall through the floor?
Yeah.
Do you want a small earthquake? And we do get earthquakes and they are getting more frequent.
Yeah.
Do you want the structure of your property now to not hold up in a smaller earthquake than when it would have had you dealt with the termites?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've heard stories of balconies collapsing and things like that out here. So there just still is this this resistance of a lot of commercial property owners to deal with it. I mean, remember there was a restaurant on a block of Beverly Hills where all of the buildings were connected, and swarmers were emerging, and and explaining to the owner, like, we would it'd be best to fumigate this whole block.
Yeah.
But so-and-so's never going to go for it. So-and-so's never going to go for it. And it's sad because they should understand what's going on. They should want to know, but there's just, like you said, it's out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see them, I'm not worried about it. When I do see swarmers, when I do see that, just treat it right there. Not understanding that the king and queen may not be there. And we're just treating an area. I mean, the technology still is not there for us to pinpoint exactly where they are. And it's not a cheap, like you said, it's not a cheap insect to treat. So even if I have the technology to listen in the wall or scan, I got to take the time to scan a whole wall. I got to charge you for that time of looking for what I'm looking for. And it may not even be here. And you got to be okay with that.
In the house, and also don't forget the other wood destroying organisms, right? Like a home is an investment.
Yeah.
And if you don't get a pre-treatment on a home, at some point, whether it's weather or whether it's a breakdown or whether it's a leak or erosion, it's going to cause dry rot. Dry rot is another. I think dry rot can even do a little more damage than termites. But when you have dry rot and termites together, your house is going to be broken down. I've seen it time and time again. When dry rot gets in there, from an accident or a leak or something behind a wall, which could have been prevented by an application from board care, it can destroy a home. And that's where you get immediate breakdown. And like I said, termites, they're going to show up in Southern California. So you get a mix of both of those and you're in trouble. So, again, educating people on, hey, this is an investment. It appreciates. Just have that in your mind that 5 to 10% of the life of your home is going to be dedicated to some type of pest control. Work.
Yep.
So,
yeah, because there's a point at which it can't be fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
So I have a question for you. You may or may not be able to answer this. It's not like a doctor-patient confidentiality in the pest control industry, but have you ever done like a termite inspection or something on a celebrity's house?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, in a way, like, is anyone jumping out at you? Because I might be thinking.
I'll let her answer. Yeah, but
what are you thinking of?
Well, I mean, there are people there. So there's different classes of celebrity.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So you got to take that into, if you're going with all the classes, yes, we have. If you're going with, go ahead. Which I know you.
Well, no, I was just thinking. So I have a good friend, someone who, I met him maybe over 15 years ago. There's a stand-up comedy is big in Cali.
Oh yeah.
And the Laugh Factory on Sundays, they always did something called Chocolate Sundays, where it would be all of the Black comedians would come out. All kind of comedians would come out, but it was like geared towards, you were going to see Chris Rock, you could see Will Smith, you could see anybody at any given time. And he promoted it for many years. And since then, he's risen to be an executive producer. He's one of the main people that works with Kevin Hart on all of Kevin Hart's projects. And so one day I'm on a flight going home to Vegas and I see him on the flight. I haven't seen him in years just because I'm doing pest control. I'm not on the scene. I used to go to Chocolate Sundays all the time when I was a full-time singer-songwriter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're seeing each other. He's like, yo, what's going on? You're married? I saw that. Congratulations. And then I tell him I do pest control. He's like, really? So anyway, Vegas is a quick flight. It's less than an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And by the end of the flight, he said, you know what? I'm going to give you my properties. I have properties. I'm going to give them to you. Just do a good job. And I was like, really? Okay. And so since then, I mean, we've taken on his properties and gone to his home directly. So, if Kevin Hart ever has any bug issues, we know we'll be, referred out. But I know he would love to do LeBron James home.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's some people we're like, man, we can't wait until certain people know because we want to take care of those people.
Put it this way. I'll say it like this for the sake of this particular client, but we would be.
Oh, I know you're thinking of.
Go ahead.
Go. No. I just like
this is the way I'm saying it. If Dave Chappelle had a home in California, we would be doing his home based on the association of who we're connected
I
with.
love Dave Chappelle, man. Love him.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, he's great.
And that's funny how that works. Like the more we have, you end up gravitating and picking up more high profile clients.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen. So like even clients that may not have been on the big screen, a lot of people out here in this market that are in entertainment, we end up servicing them are, real estate. So especially as we continue to grow and flourish, then one day, hey, LeBron.
Yeah.
We'll take care of your bugs.
Well, y'all are awesome. Thank you all for coming and being on our podcast. We know you've been on a lot of podcasts, but we really appreciate you coming on. And
I totally appreciate
hanging
it.
out with us.
Yeah.
What? Listen, thank you. We love Nicest. We love you guys. It's such a genuine relationship. Bugs is what brought us together, and we get to do business together. But it's also really great to do business with your friends and know that, you're going to deliver us great products. We're going to deliver you what you need as far as, okay, tell the story of this product in a way that is going to resonate with the public, with the industry, and with legislative. Like, do your thing. And like we always say, you're like the Nike of pest control, because there's just some brands that are just so innovative. They're not afraid to take chances. That is Nicest. And I think you're going to just continue to be the top, in my opinion, the top manufacturer in the business, because you guys are not afraid to tell your brand story, and you'll allow people that have a voice to do it. So.
And for me, hey, I'm doing this podcast on my birthday, so that should let you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much I like you guys.
Right. He has not gotten a single birthday gift yet. So I said, you will wait till after the call.
Yeah.
Well, you better go get your gifts then.
Yeah. Well, guys.
Right. Tangible gifts, yes, absolutely.
And then Baby Grace, we can't wait to bring Baby Grace into our content and show the world that you can do pest control, have a newborn, and everybody's happy. And bugs can be where they at, but not in here.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. It's been great talking to you. And if you could just tell everyone where they can find you.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, you can find us at getgoinspestcontrol.com. We are at GetGoins, Goins, no G, Get Goins on every platform. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Of course, we're on LinkedIn, Get Goins Pest Control, the Keep It Goins Foundation as well, keepitgoins.org. We do accept donations. We have another family that we're going to help in January 2025. So that is the next project. So always accepting donations to help those families. And it's at Keep It Goins on all platforms as well.
And if you're ever in Los Angeles, say what's up.
Yeah.
The outgoings, you can see us there. Ryan Goins, anything that's Goins, okay? We got that. That's us. We got it.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. I'll be like.
All right. Thanks again for joining us here on Nicest Nation, and we'll see you next time. Get going.
Thank you. Nicest Nation. Woo!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.